I'm sorry I had to bring my baby.
I don't let you.
They won't send. I don't have nobody to watch them. Now I had to get on the bus.
I don't let you at all. It's part of my policy.
I didn't know that. This one I got on the bus.
I understand, but I don't allow kids while I'm doing hair around. Period. It's just you, and that's it.
So I'm saying, what I supposed to do? Cause
I mean, I don't know that. That's not my problem. I just supposed to do the hair. That's all I'm supposed to do.
What's going on, y'all? Come with me apartment shopping after my eviction. My apartment locator sent me a list of apartments that accept my situation and my price range. Your girl ain't got no air in her car, so I'm really trying to make this quick and fast and in a hurry. And if y'all fuck with me for real, y'all would like, follow, and share and engage so your girl can pay for her air.
You don't have no air in your car. Okay, hold on. What's going on? Apartment shopping after your eviction. So you got evicted and you found some apartments that'll work with you. Cool. You don't have air in your car? What are we talking about? All you got to do is get a couple quarters together and go to the gas station.
For real, y'all would like, follow, and share and engage so your girl can pay for her air, okay? If I'm your friend, like you say I'm your friend, you gonna do that for me because my edges is lifting. You can't tell? Anyways, back to the video. So I saw the first unit. The first unit was nice. It was really cool. I liked it. Their pool was really small, by the way, but neither here or there. I can't be too picky. They didn't have an island in their kitchen. I've never seen an apartment without an island in their kitchen. It threw me off, but again, I can't be too picky. They didn't have carpet in the bedroom. I never had an apartment without carpet in my bedroom. But I guess that's the new style now. I don't know. But the apartment was really nice, and the leasing consultant, he was super dope. The second apartment actually really pissed me off. I drove an hour away from where I normally stay. These two apartments were kind of like...
What you mean you drove an hour away? You don't have air in your car. Y'all just be missiles on this road. Y'all don't do no type of safety inspection for your car. And you're really putting the general population in danger when you do that. Whether you're neglecting putting air in your tires, whether you're neglecting your brakes are grinding and you just keep driving. This is not a game. If you were a business that delved with driving a lot, you would have to do safety inspections. And if you had employees, you would have your employees do safety inspections on their vehicle every day to make sure that the vehicle's up to par before they get on the road, because they know if something happens, it could be some liability. But there's a lot of things is unregulated, as far as there's a lot of people out here on these roads that's just driving crazy, and their vehicles are not safe, and they're putting everyone else in danger because you're increasing the likelihood of a malfunction of your vehicle. I want to go back to this again, though. I'm not gonna lie. I want to go back to this again. This was crazy. We gotta talk about this for a second. It was quick. So she was turned away from her hair appointment after arriving with 6 kids. Yeah, it was 6. I was counting 2.
I'm sorry I had to bring my baby.
I don't let you.
They won't send. I don't have nobody to watch them. Now I had to get on the bus.
I don't let you at all. It's part of my policy.
I didn't know that.
You know what? That was good. That was good. He reacted very well in this situation, because most people, when they're put on the spot like this, they just go ahead and will just be polite and then think about it after the fact, like, nah, I want you to go. But now she'll have a real point of contention to be able to really go off on you, because she'll be like, well, you said it was okay, but ma'am, you sprung it up on me. You just showed up at my doorstep. You had nothing but time. Obviously, you know how to pick up the phone and make an appointment. So why you didn't pick up the phone and alert me that now all of a sudden you have to bring 6 kids in my house or in my apartment? But he had listen, man, he talking about it's my policy. That was a good response. Obviously, he don't got no written policies and procedures, but that was a good response based off of her trying to spring it on you. And she did that intentionally, in my opinion. She did that intentionally. I wouldn't be surprised. She tried to act like the babysitter couldn't do it. I wouldn't be surprised if she was planning on doing this the whole time. And see, now you would be on my blacklist. But she's just going to keep on trying it. But that's not okay to do people like that. That's completely inappropriate. And I don't like when people just try to be slick like that and spring stuff on you and then try to make it seem like you tripping. Y'all, before we get back into it, though, if you could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. Only takes a second, and then it actually helps out more than you know. And it's really just a click. It's really just a click. So if you're here anyway, you might as well click that like button. And also, if you can hype the video as well.
Y'all, I need y'all to blow this up.
The caption says, kicking out a mother and kids because my kids have heavy feet. Have heavy feet. Okay.
This up. I'm like, my stress level is like over the roof. So the other day, my property manager for my apartment emailed me. Okay. As y'all can see, y'all can go ahead and read it yourself. After receiving numerous noise complaints regarding your unit with no resolution, we decided to refuse all future rent payments. We instead kindly request possession of the unit and all the keys and access cards. When are you planning to turn your keys in? So, let me give you a little background. I have 3 kids, okay? I pay $2,000 at this apartment complex. $2,000. Okay? The noise.
Man, there's no point bringing up the money that you're mentioning. If you pay $2,000, that means they make $2,000, which means that they're willing to lose out on the income for a little while just to get you out of there. Now, I'm curious to see what happened in this situation because I didn't know you could just kick somebody out because they kids or because I'm guessing they be doing a lot of stomping, they be running around, and so the people under them can basically hear them playing, which that could be annoying, especially if it happens a lot. But I didn't know that. I guess they must have recorded or something, had some type of proof of just how egregious it was, and then showed the leasing office.
$1,000. Okay? The noise is from my kids. They have heavy feet. Mind you, I have a 7-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 1-year-old. Now the apartment, they know I have kids. They're on my lease, right? Okay, so they're on my lease. This all started a couple months ago.
They have heavy feet.
The people below me, I guess they're older, older couple with their son and girlfriend. They all live together. And they started, to come upstairs and knock on the door and say, hey, we hear a lot of thumping, Okay, I have kids. I already explained to my property manager. I said, I have kids. You want me to beat my kids for saying, hey, I have a 1-year-old. What do you tell a 1-year-old? They have heavy feet. Okay? And I told them, I said, this is not on purpose. I need someone to I need some help. Somebody please, I know as a tenant I have rights. I have to have rights.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I feel like that just comes with the territory. If you decide to live in an apartment, I mean, shoot, it could come like that if you decide. There's things that come with living in a house. You might have somebody that lives next to you and they like to loiter outside their house all the time and just they might have moved in a family member who don't got no job and he just sit on the stoop all day or whatever. It's just certain things that come with certain living arrangements. And that's if you're in a neighborhood where your houses are close, by the way. I feel like this could be annoying, especially, listen, the heavy feet thing. No, ma'am, you're look at this. Your kids are probably like this. We just gonna
I'm
be honest.
sorry, I had to bring my baby.
I don't let you.
They're running
They
around.
won't sit. I don't have nobody to watch them. Now I had to get on the bus.
I don't let you at all. It's part of my policy.
Okay, well, her kids wasn't that misbehaved. They just loud. They're just loud, and it was just a lot to bring in front of his doorstep. Her kids ain't really misbehaving too bad, but I'm just saying, you know, your kids is up there running around, playing, doing all type of stuff. It's been that way since the beginning of time, since people was kids, where people be like, "Hey, stop all that running around up there." But now these people got to deal with that perpetually, and they can't stop it. And a lot of times, y'all don't really be disciplining your kids. And so it's really just for everybody else to have to just adapt to. But again, I kind of feel like that's just what comes with it. I didn't know you could get somebody kicked out for that. But hey, let's see how this, I want to see how this turned out. She's asking for her rights or whatever. I would think maybe you do got rights.
Like, somebody please, like, I know as a tenant I have rights. I have to have rights. Like, somebody please, like, this is not right. I'm sorry. I'm just like, so you mean to tell me I have to, first of all, moving's expensive. So I have to move
Yeah, it is.
because, and then y'all didn't even, it's almost like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, you guys could have had them move to, I don't know, a different unit. No
Well,
one
no, no, no,
told
no,
y'all
no,
to
no,
be
no,
at
no,
the
no, no, no.
bottom of somebody. Like, why not transfer me and the kids or them? I'm just at a loss of words. I need some.
That's true. You could solve the problem. But you got to be willing to be on the bottom unit. But yeah, that would solve the problem. That is true. Just put her in a bottom unit. And you got to be self-aware too, man. You got to understand that you got some kids that's loud and stomping around and how that can affect other people. And so when you're doing your apartment search, you need to be selecting bottom units. So if you get kicked out now, which I don't know if that's right. I don't think that I don't that's a stretch, man. That's a stretch about stomping and all that. Sometimes you got people, they got big old dogs that you can hear them running around all the time. At the same time, it might be when the people come home, whatever. That's a little bit of a stretch that might be targeted. I'm not going to lie.
Me and the kids or them. I'm just at a loss of words. I need someone to comment. I need some help. I need someone to tell me. I know, to me, this is like discrimination against a single mom and her kids. Like, you guys didn't even try to resolve, okay, it's noisy. Y'all knew that's y'all fault making cheap ass wood. I mean, I'm paying all this money. I work 2 jobs. Okay. Before I get like emotional, I just need y'all to comment, blow this up.
Yeah, I mean, this is the problem. This is a little bit of the problem because you're working 2 jobs. You don't have time to discipline your kids because you got 3 kids. You got a newborn. This is what we see. Undisciplined kids. But at the same time, again, I don't think that that's enough to get somebody booted up out of their apartment like that. And I feel like there's a pretty simple fix as far as just giving her a bottom unit. But again, moving forward, y'all ain't self aware about. I feel like it's like when you see people and their kids get in trouble at their school or whatever, and then the parents come down there like, "No, it can't be my kids," and meanwhile their kid is like a demon in that school, and they be defending their child, even though a lot of the stuff don't even be defensible. You could find a firearm in a kid's book bag, they gonna be defending it. It's like you got to be aware about your kids. Y'all, I done seen the most craziest justifications for some of these bad kids. So I just say that to say, you got some rambunctious kids. So you need to make sure that you pick a smaller a first floor apartment moving forward. I want to see what some of these comments say. My neighbor above me has 3 kids and they never sit down and they aren't very young children. I hear slamming, running from room to room. It's all day and night. Yeah, I mean, if it's all day and night, that's crazy. That would drive me wild. Especially you got stuff that you doing. Let me see.
Y'all, I need y'all to.
So I understand both sides. And again, I feel like a lot of people, especially when they telling stories, you're not telling about how your kids just are doing the most and you're not disciplining them. See, someone said, I have a 6-year-old and he knew from a young age that he could not run because people sleeping downstairs. When his friends come over, my kid tell them they can't run, people sleeping downstairs. Someone said, there are noise clauses in the majority of leases. I know my complex has one. My guess is they consider the noise excessive versus normal everyday living. I wonder if they just started recording. Exactly. I think they have recordings. I think it's really egregious, probably. For them to have felt comfortable to just go straight to this and feel legally justified to do it contractually, I think that, ma'am, I think you're sitting here on this camera and you know that your kids are very excessive with their behavior. And I think that you're not taking accountability for it. That's what I think is going on.
Me and my 2 kids are homeless right now. I was evicted.
It says family will show you who they are in hard times.
Me and my 2 kids are homeless right now. I was evicted. And when I tell y'all, people who I've never met, strangers, have shown me more love and support than the people in my real life, it is disheartening and it is heartbreaking. I am emotional even just thinking about it. When I said in my last video, me and my kids, we have some support. I meant just that, some. Very slim and seldom. Because again, I'm very hyper independent because of that. Because I know what they look like. Because I know how some people could be. And I'm not gonna never force you to be like me. I'm never gonna do none of that. Because as my shirt says, God got me and my children. When I tell y'all, I appreciate everybody that's been so supportive.
Hold on. I'm so tired of people talking about they're independent, they're hyper independent, but then they always need help and they always need support. It almost is coming off like you're feeling entitled to support. And even you mentioning your family will show you who you are in hard times. And it's like, well, then you do need support. So you're not independent. As well as what we don't see, the first thing people do, the ladies do, is they start applying for government assistance or local assistance programs. So I don't understand where this independent stuff is going. She said she's hyper independent. A hyper independent would not be online asking for support, and you're online asking for support because your family didn't give you support. No, that's not hyper independent. That I'm just addressing the logic. That's not hyper independent. Somebody who's hyper independent is going to take full responsibility. They're going to turn their situation around, right? Men, I think a lot of men are involuntarily hyperly independent, because we know that there is no support. You're talking about family will show you who you are in hard times. Man, ain't nobody coming to save me or most men. So y'all be saying y'all hyper independent, but y'all still have avenues that you definitely go to when things go left. Men, we don't really have that choice. We don't even have that option. So we're forced to be hyperly independent involuntarily. So y'all need to, I don't like keep taking credit, but then what we see is, because what would it take for you to, I don't know what it would take for me to come online and start expecting support or asking for support in the form of money or whatever the case. And I'm not saying I'm above it, but you're walking around with this thing saying you hyperly independent. So that's not really lining up, in my opinion.
I appreciate everybody that's been so supportive. I see the comments. Some of them have brought me to tears, because again, y'all don't know me, and y'all have to just pause for a second. But it's not like I need money from nobody, because again, like I'm making do. I'm not asking for no money. I'm not asking for no handouts. I'm just asking for support. That's it. That's it. And it's so hard. And again, God had to make me realize everybody ain't cut from the same cloth as you. Hard times gonna show everybody.
Okay, so correction. I guess she didn't ask for money, but what type of support? What do you mean you asking for support? You just need encouragement? Because I'm gonna be real. I don't know if social media is the place to go for that. I don't know if TikTok, all this type of stuff is the place to go for encouragement. Because, and I'm gonna just be real about this too. If it can make you, then it can break you. So I get it. I mean, I'm not just gonna tell you just get it within yourself, get it from within yourself, which that is really the solution. But I don't know if social media, but I guess she's saying family isn't there. I don't know, man. What type of support do you need? Like emotional support? They be like, yeah, I need emotional support, just encouragement, whatever. But then be single mothers. The man was supposed to be your emotional support, if I'm being honest.
Everybody ain't cut from the same cloth as you. Hard times gonna show everybody hand every single time. It's just bottom line. And I just know that this test that I'm experiencing in life, something I've never experienced a day in my life, is going to be a part of my testimony. And these next 6 months, I'm about to work hard as I've ever worked in my entire life. People who know me on a personal level know that when I have my mindset to something, baby, I'm in there. I'm getting it done. Them 2 children of mine, them 2 kids of mine, baby, they are my motivation. You hear me? You hear me? These were unforeseen circumstances. Period. And that's okay.
What was the circumstance?
That's okay, because God is moving me into a different chapter. I'm going to still get on here. I'm going to still do what I need to do. I'm going to still be encouraged to everybody that stopped on my videos. I'm going to continue to be there. But sometimes I need the encouragement. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I need that. I can minister to you, but sometimes I need ministering too as well. And y'all, when I tell y'all, again, thank y'all so much. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. I can't even put it into words how much gratitude I have for people.
I wonder if the support is more so to become a TikTok creator and get some engagement. I don't know. But I mean, she's on TikTok a lot. I want to know what's the problem that's going on. I'm guessing it's eviction related if it slid across my desk. And so, but there's nothing wrong with that, needing encouragement. But yeah, I mean, I feel like it's a lot of people that's going to be needing encouragement, because it's a lot of people who have self-inflicted wounds on themselves and who have to deal with the logistics. But that's just going to be the ups and downs of your situation. Listen, if you don't put a lot on yourself that you can't handle, you're still going to have to deal with the ups and downs of your emotions, and you're going to feel up some days, you're going to feel down some days. But then when you got these hard logistical challenges in the form of, I would say overhead, but more complex overhead, which is kids, because they have a direct cost, but they don't just cost you money. It also costs you in the form of your time and your energy. And it confines you. You don't have as much freedom as you would have as when you were single. And then when you compile the fact that emergencies can come up, like an eviction or whatever the case, then all of a sudden what you see is that it can be very easy when you have to deal with that on your own to break down, especially for the ladies. So that's why ideally, you don't take on more than you can handle before you're ready. And it wouldn't hurt for certain things that were designed to be a certain way to set it up in the format that it's designed for, i.e., if you're going to start a family, have the full family. You're missing out. You got the family, and you're missing out on the most strongest piece. The most strongest piece, the most dependable piece that's necessary for for this all to work, in my opinion. So it's no wonder why you need all this support, because you're missing something essential, especially to be able to manage stressful situations. Especially to be able to manage stressful situations and continue moving forward irregardless of feelings. You're missing that piece that is meant to be able to navigate that more effectively, in my opinion.
This is why I need to do better with the application process, because
the caption says, getting unit ready after an eviction.
With the application process, because that's how we got our unit back after evicting our tenant. She was in here for a year not paying rent, and she said she had rats, and the way she was living, it was disgusting.
She was in there for a year not paying rent. A year.
And she said she had rats, and the way she was living, it was disgusting. Yeah, holes in the walls, just nasty. But this is after we gutted all the areas, and this is when I went to go pick out tile and different wall colors. But this was when I did my walkthrough, so I can kind of fill out the space and see what I wanted to do. And I knew I needed to hit these cabinets because that brown is hideous, and I hate this tile. Just look at all the dirt. Like, that's how she lived. It's just so gross. But this is a color that I picked for the walls, and I really love it. It's just giving elevated. But these cabinets, I'm so over them. I started sanding them a little bit just so I can see, and that's why I need to paint them with white afterwards. And I told him. But this is when they're bringing the granite in. It looks so classy. I love it so much.
Yeah, that's literally what I'm doing right now. I literally have to.
She's responding to a comment. The comment says, that's what I did. I hurry up and got a new apartment before the eviction went on my record, but now all my evictions are removed off my credit. Okay, so it sounds like that might be what she's trying to do, get another apartment before an eviction goes on her credit. So she got an eviction.
I'm doing right now. I literally have to play this game smart and not move slow. So right now I'm literally trying to get the money I need to get to basically secure the apartment. I already have an apartment that I basically got approved for. I'm just having to pay a third party company for them to be my guarantor for the apartment because I did not pass income verification. So yeah, so basically I'm having to pay 2 months worth of rent. So I'm still probably.
Wow. You can pay a company to be a guarantor for you? Now that's different. I didn't know about that. They got companies to solve every problem, man.
I paid 2 months worth of rent. So I'm still probably going to have my GoFundMe. I'm going to put I don't know. I don't really know how I'm going to do this. I'm trying to move before before everything goes to court. And I've already spoken with, my leasing manager. I already let her know what's going on. So my goal is to move by December 15th. That's really my goal. I already applied for another apartment and basically went through. So I don't think that they can, deny me once, I've already signed documents and shit like that. I don't know. But I applied and basically I got approved for a third party company. So now I just had to pay that third party company and then, pay for her first month's rent and sign documents. I'm really trying to hurry up and do a lot of things within, the next week and a half or 2 weeks so that I can really secure the apartment before having to go to court. I don't know when court is. I have not been actually served documentation for the eviction. So I'm not really for sure what's going on. Maybe it's just going slow because the government was shut down, shit like that, so I don't know. But yeah, thankfully the process is going a little bit slower right now just due to the holidays and things like that. I'm keeping in communication with my leasing manager.
Boy, man, y'all just putting all type of self-inflicted wounds on yourself. You got to be like Tom Cruise out here trying to defuse the bomb. Hurry up and secure this apartment before the eviction go through. Time is of the essence. Just Man, just living life on the edge for real. Living life on the edge for real. How did you get the eviction? Why weren't you paying your stuff? That's what I gotta know. That's what I gotta know. And then it's like, well, I'm trying to secure another apartment. So what, you gonna stay there for 7 years? Why would you even want to do it to yourself? And so these things aren't little matters. This is your reputation we're talking about here. This is your reputation we're talking about. And it's gonna hinder you. We don't have time to be making things harder than what they already are. Life is plenty hard enough. We just out here making it so much more hard than it has to be. Just like at that first clip at the beginning. I mean, we addressed just the egregiousness of her just showing up to that dude's house to do her hair with all her kids. But what we forgot to analyze is like, why is this a single woman with 6 kids? That's what we didn't really talk about. Is she taking the bus? She don't have a car. Were you struggling with 3? How did we then literally and figuratively double down after that? And now you got to take these kids everywhere you go. You try to take them to your hair appointment. I'm going to be real. I don't think they don't want to be there. Do you know that hairstylist guy anyway? You bring your kids to really a stranger's house. I get you're there, but that's just, I just don't understand why you would want to put yourself in some of these positions. I just don't.
A little bit slower right now just due to the holidays and things like that. I'm keeping in communication with my leasing manager. I'm going to try my best to get a job, secure a job, because I have everything lined up. Like, things are actually working in my favor right now. I just have to really just move with urgency, and yeah. But I might still, ask for requests for donations so I can actually get help with moving. So for anyone who actually does want to help me, I'm still going to, try my best to do what I can on my end. I'm going to be dashing all day long. I'm going to get me another job. I'm going to hopefully give my son to daycare as soon as possible. Try and look for something cheaper. But yeah, I'm trying to just move with urgency, basically. Anyways, with anyone who is open and helping me with this, during this time, I would greatly appreciate it. I will put my cash up in the caption. So for anyone who's open to donating to me and, helping me, thank you, thank you, thank you.
One of these comments asked a question that I often ask as well. The comment says, let me ask you a question. If you get help today with your rent, are you going to be on here in December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November of next year still asking for monthly rent? If you don't have enough to move in, how are you going to have enough to stay? I'm just asking a question. This is only my opinion. Exactly. Now, I think, to give her a little bit of credit, I think she did basically answer that. It sounds like she's looking for a job and she's expecting to have a job soon. I don't know how she's being optimistic right now in this job market like that. But why didn't you already have a job? It's like I'm urgently trying to get a job now. Why weren't you urgently trying to get a job so that you could have paid your rent or made up on your rent before you got this eviction? Why weren't we doing that? I understand. Listen, it can be a little difficult right now in this market, but you got to do what you got to do. But I'm telling you right now, coming online, starting GoFundMe's and all that, that's not the solution. And that's going to become a slippery slope. It's almost like dang if you do, dang if you don't. And what I mean is, if you don't raise it, then you're going to have to figure it out, ain't you? So I guess that's bad because you didn't raise your money and you face the risk of completely falling on your face if you're not willing to make up the gap and do whatever it takes, which what we find is most people are not willing to do that. So you could fail on that end. But then also, if you do raise the money, what that's going to establish is it's going to establish a precedent, and it's going to reinforce bad behavior. And now that's going to become your go-to every time. And it's just going to make you more and more helpless and more dependable on other things outside of your own capabilities and your own power. So it's dang if you do, dang if you don't. So I would recommend you just try to navigate this and correct it as best as possible. But see, if she asked me what should I do, she wouldn't like my answer probably. It would probably sound impossible. Because since we can't recommend get a man, I would say you need to get 3 jobs, man. You got an eviction on your record. You're gonna have to get 3 jobs. And I'm not talking DoorDash. I'm not talking Uber Eats. I'm not considering TikTok part of your job. You're gonna have to get 3 big boy jobs. And you're not gonna sleep very much because you got to start getting ahead in life. And not only do you need to just be able to sustain your rent payments month to month, but you need to be putting something away for a rainy day because I'm guessing you must have lost your job at some point, and then that's what put you in this predicament to begin with. So you need to start creating a buffer and a safety blanket, i.e. an emergency fund, so that you can be ready for these type of scenarios that are guaranteed to happen in the future. But she probably wouldn't like that. She'd be like, ooh, nah, GoFundMe is going to be, I'm going to need to start this GoFundMe. And most people, I mean, it's not just her, it's most people. Most people ain't willing to do that. But then why do you have philosophies that you're just going to do life alone if you're not going to do whatever it takes to survive? Y'all, we'll leave it there for today. If you could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. Only takes a second and it actually helps out more than you know. And also, if you could hype the video. Hype is a new feature that YouTube offers where it helps smaller content creators like myself. And basically, when you hype, it actually pushes us to the extent that it pushes the larger content creators. So you just press the hype button and it shows the points. And since I'm a smaller creator, a smaller channel, we actually get more points per hype. And hype was designed for smaller channels. So that's why. But if you come across a video and you don't see the hype button, then it's probably been over 7 days. And hype usually vanishes after 7 days. So for that reason, it's usually best practice if you want to hype to just go ahead and hype while the iron is hot on a newer video. And then also if you want to become a member of the channel as well, join buttons on the video. And what becoming a member of the DXU family will come with is you would get badges next to your comments where it will show people that you are a member whenever you leave a comment, as well as you would get early access to content and also exclusive content that's not available for everyone else on YouTube. So again, if you want to become a member, join buttons on the video. But until then, I'll see you in the next video.